Hey all, PC Basics back at you with another video. Today we're going to be upgrading the Dell Optiplex 7010 server and putting a new solid state drive in it and some new hard drives. And yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so I'm going to take this panel off here. And as you can see, I got my 3-4 SATA plugs down here. Maybe that's a fourth one. I think so. And then, I just got some extra SATA connectors right here. And as you can see, I am out of slots. I have a SATA SSD, 4TB hard drive, another 4TB hard drive, and the disk drive. So what I'm going to do is start removing this disk drive and this SATA drive, and then I'm gonna move the redundant drives up here and put another 4TB data drive down here. So let's get started. So right here is our Samsung boot drive. Looks like it's 128 gigs. And then right here, we'll unplug our disk drive. There it is. And I'm gonna have to unscrew this. I believe this comes out. Yep. Okay, there that is. And what I'm going to do is take this front panel off just to make it easier. Okay, there it is. So there's our DVD drive. What I'm going to do is pull down on that and push it out. And there it is. Very dusty. Let's see. This is a DVD writer, model SH216. Who was this made by? I'm probably looking right at it. Toshiba. And Samsung. Okay. Right here, I have a bracket for a 5 1/4 inch to a 3 1/4 inch drive. And that will just go right in that slot right there. Okay, so what I meant to say was, you put this 3 1/4 inch drive in the 5 1/4 inch drive slot. I got it all screwed in now. I'll show you what that looks like. Just got the screws on both sides. And then you slide this in, push that out of the way. Kind of push it down a little. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about it not having a cover right here. This one did. I tried to get the same one, but they didn't have it. And then it just slides in like I got it here. So you have the drive sticking out there. And then obviously you're going to push this up and line up the holes with the screws you took out from this drive. And it should be good to go. And then I'll show you how I put in this drive here. Unfortunately, these holes right here where the screws go were not large enough for these. So I just took my knife right here and made them a little bigger, and that gets the screws in pretty well. So this drive's mounted in. Last thing to do is actually plug it in. So here's SATA power, and here's SATA data. There we go. So I just flipped this over, and I gotta undo these screws right here. Let's see if I can do it with my left hand. Yes, I can. This thing was just sitting in here to hold the 2.5-inch drive. It just had these little bumpers that would fit into. Pulled that out. Now I got this drive here, another Barracuda 4 terabyte, and then you just line up these again with these holes. So should be easy. Make sure when you do this, if you have a Dell Optiplex, that you have it facing this way when it slides in, because this is the way it will go in right here. So you want to make sure it's facing the correct direction. And just like that, we have it installed. So I'm going to move these cables out of my way and slide this in. There we go. Push that together. There it is. So plug in SATA power and SATA data right here. There we go. Okay, so I have the server back downstairs. I gotta move this controller out of the way real quick. Just put this over here. Okay, so here's the thing. I got everything plugged in. I don't like the look of the hard drive just sitting there. I'd rather have like a little cover like this one did. But I will tell you, everything's plugged in, and I'm gonna plug in power. The reason I haven't done that yet, and I don't like to do this in this end first. I like to do it from the jack over here first, but it boots up immediately when you plug it in. That's just how it is. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay. Wow, it didn't do it this time. Normally it does. Maybe I unplugged it. Maybe that's why. You know, I bet that's what happened. I bet it's unplugged. Nope, it's plugged in. Oh, the switch. Okay, watch this. It's gonna turn on automatically. There it goes. I'm gonna run around, get over here real quick. There it is. I'm gonna log into my desktop real quick. See how this boots up. See if I can put it in. Yeah, here we go. And we're gonna do BIOS setup real quick. And go to boot sequence. After playing around with the Dell Optiplex BIOS or UEFI settings, I found that the M.2 drives are not supported. So I went on a Google search and found out you need a modified BIOS to boot an M.2 drive. So instead of doing that, I decided to order a PCIe to SATA card so I could plug in the original boot drive and still have room for all my other drives. So I'm just going to end up zip tying my SATA drive on top of the hard drive caddy that's holding the other drives. Alright, so guys, it's the next day. I believe this is powered off. Let's see. Yes, it is. Can unplug it. There we go. And I got my SATA PCIe, the SATA board, and a SATA cable. And I have my SATA SSD here. And we're going to plug it in. Okay, so we're going to take this panel off. Set it over here. Okay, as you see, I have my M.2 drive in here. I'm gonna take that out. Try not to drop all this stuff. Oh, there it goes. Alright, and we're just going to carefully pull this out. There it goes. Set this right there. Put this back in. There we are. Okay, now we're gonna put in the SATA PCIe adapter. So here it is. It's an LUTNIG. So I'm gonna put this in, and to make this easy on me, I'm gonna try and line this up first without pushing it in. There we go. And then line it up down here. Okay, here we go. Okay, that is seated in. Give it a little wiggle. Okay, we're gonna take this SATA cable and let's see how we're gonna put this in. If I were to put it right here and zip tie it down, let's see here. Yeah, we'd put it that way. I think it would make sense. Oh, this is not a 90-degree one. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna hook up this cable. So I could film this, I just set my camera down. Here we go. Got my cable here. Plug in SATA data just like that. Just for a moment, I'm gonna set this SSD right here on top of the other drives, just so I can film this. Okay, and then as you can see, I'm gonna zoom in, move this out of the way. The SATA cable looks like it goes up here, so we're gonna plug this in so it's up. Okay, there it goes. Okay, that's good. Right here, I got SATA power. So we're gonna plug this in, plug that in, set it right here. Now before we put this whole thing back together, we're just gonna quick plug it in, boot it up, and make sure everything's recognized. So plug this in back here. Okay, flip the switch. Okay, we have life. Here we are. And let's see, slot 1, PCI, mass storage. It found it. Cool. So we're gonna go to boot sequence, and it is on legacy. I want to try UEFI. It says UEFI hard drive. Exit. Do you want to save changes? Yes. Come on, focus. Let's see if it boots here. Hey, there we go, it's booting. Alright, so the server's all booted up. I got my hand over it so you don't see my IP address. But I got the server all buttoned up and ready to go. So, real quick, before we can log in and access any of the files, we're going to open up Chrome. So here we are on TrueNAS. This is my server. So this is our TrueNAS dashboard. We're gonna go here, the storage, pools, and you can see we have our pools, and if we go here you can see we have all our disks. So obviously AD0 is our boot drive, and then here we have our other two drives that were just added, and the other two we already had shared. Okay, so this one is the one I'm going to select, AD3 and then ZFN57WGB. This will be our redundant drive, and I know that because, as I said earlier, I wanted the redundant ones on top, and because the cover is open, the serial number is exposed on the drive. So this is the one we're going to add to our storage pool. Alright guys, so this is the best way of expanding a storage pool from my understanding on TrueNAS. Now this is a dangerous method of expanding storage because you could lose some of your data, but I believe this is going to be okay for our uses because both of the drives I'm adding are unused storage at the moment. So I'm gonna go to add VDEVs, and I'm going to select our data drive here as data drive 2 or ADA2, and then we are going to add, and then we're going to add a hot spare, which is drive reserved for inserting into data pool VDEVs when an active drive has failed. And for that one we're going to put it here as our striped data, and we're going to force it. Hit confirm and continue, and add VDEV. Added disks are erased and the pool is extended onto the new disks with the chosen topology. Existing data on the pool is kept intact. So confirm and add VDEVs. Okay, so if we go up to, well, let's look at pools real quick. It says 3.95 terabytes free, and if we go to our dashboard, we have 2 spares and 2 VDEVs. So VDEV data ADA1, ADA2, and if we go to spares, we have ADA4 and 3. So if we look here, if I go to storage and disks, it shows they are all shared. That is good, that's what we want, and we should be good to use our storage here. So if I go out of here and go to our network here, there we go. And here's our server. If I, oh, now it's gonna do it again. Okay, properties, it says we have no storage, but if we go in here and do it again, no storage. Try this again. So while this is calculating, it shows we have available space, 3.95 terabytes. We have our 2 backup drives and our 2 data drives. So we have 8 terabytes of space, 4 available. We have 0 errors, use space 45%. So with 45% being used, we can estimate we have around 8 terabytes of usable space.